Will your counterpart in the relationship with you in the second chance re-enter the relationship with you or allow a relationship to develop? And will there be a change? Will he stand by you, or will the whole thing repeat itself as it may have happened before, which is perhaps why it fell apart if you were once in a relationship? His behavioral patterns in previous relationships. You might be wondering, there was a breakup, but there is still something. And in your little pot, there is always the question, can it be different? Can it change? Is there something there? Will it be different the second time, or whatever, the next time you come together, or when you generally come together in a relationship? Will it be something else, better? Or will it all repeat itself? Let's take a look now. Dear ones, we are tapping into the energy of the now, and we are in the collective gender-neutral person card. This is your counterpart, both male and female, and a collective reading may not apply to everyone. Feel all the warmth, love the evening, see each other, lots of light, love, and positive energy. And thank you for your heartfelt, lovely comments again. So wonderful, dreamily beautiful. Many, many thanks to you. So, now at this point in time, I concentrate my attention on the question regarding your counterpart. Whether there is a change, or that everything repeats. It's really good to see such a positive tendency in this situation. I sincerely appreciate your efforts and support. Thank you very much for everything you've done. Okay, then let's take a look. So, we have the underside of the deck, the page of coins. Page of coins. Coins. Yes, it is such a difficult time, but your counterpart is already like that. He wants opportunities. Opportunities are a big theme here. And here it is also about an invitation. And perhaps he has received a bit of support to break out of such patterns, but here it is definitely about stagnation. So, this standstill, perhaps precisely because you currently have no contact with him and hear nothing, makes you think that what is now, in the 3D, looks like there is nothing at all. It says, however, do not cling to what you are currently perceiving outside. For here is a significant theme. Your counterpart is engaging in reflection. And trust is also a very big theme here. So here, more this trust, perhaps also in oneself. But there are also these opportunities. Chance is indeed a big theme which your counterpart also sees or something here. He wants to seize a chance for change. He definitely wants to get out of the standstill. And as mentioned, reflection is a big theme with your counterpart. So, let's see what we have here. Oh God, look how beautiful. So, your counterpart, the change, your counterpart knows. That is what the reflection your counterpart has is currently. Is it that everything fits between you two? There is really, everything is there, such as fulfillment, satisfaction, gratitude, and your warmth. But also your counterpart currently regrets what has happened, that he perhaps did not give you what you needed. Or he withdrew from you because he said, okay, he might not be able to give it to you. Or he is not ready for a relationship. And there is the issue, he regrets it, frustration. Because everything fits, right? Everything was in harmony between you two. Has your counterpart arrived? So they are perceiving this now only. The 10th cup is missing, which represents the committed relationship. This stability, this consistency, because everything fits so well. Maybe, yes, I'll say food or movies, this commonality. I don't mean to go into every detail, as that would be boring, to be honest, but it would somehow be monotonous. But I really have here everything that one would say fits for a super great relationship. And there is the counterpart, and this reflection, this change, this perspective also for oneself, or rather not for oneself, but the, oh, I have a spot there. So now maybe no one noticed the spot, but since I mentioned it, no, it's all good. So what do we have left? We have the star. So with the star, it's also a new upswing. Your counterpart is really involved. It fits together so perfectly. The reflection to rise, to have faith in it, and now also the hope that you still want it at all. And yes, for one or another, this is also about a separation, and your counterpart was also confused. Perhaps confused in the relationship with you, if he has perhaps separated from you or you from him, or even relationships before you, and there was a misconception involved, and that is where we have the change. The misconception is the reflection that things have not gone so well. Perhaps, as mentioned, you have been in a relationship together before, or rather with relationships prior to you, with other women or men, depending on the situation. As mentioned, there is the reflection that he can experience everything differently with you, and you, who also complete his happiness, and he wants to make you happy. So there is this new upswing. I think it looks really good, and as I said, there's still one of the luckiest cards here with us. Let's set it aside for now, and then see what else we can get. That we go into more detail here. So, yes, wow. So I say the first row actually tells me pretty much everything. When facing each other, inner emotional reflection is very strong. Reflecting this viewpoint, this observation, like from a bird's eye perspective, this different way of looking at things. What has been the activities, if you have ever been in a relationship? And in the end, he frees himself from these old behavior patterns, from the past, from what once was. And your counterpart is really going completely into introspection here. And I see the transformation in your counterpart. Definitely the transformation. So I would say there is still a bit of uncertainty with your counterpart because he is going back and forth, wondering how he can manage it. So it's not safe yet. But this back and forth, this going into fine-tuning is something I like to say. So your counterpart is currently in the process of fine-tuning because there is just a tiny bit. It's still a bit wobbly, but I would say it's not like he's standing on a high pedestal, teetering back and forth, and then falling down or something like that. But it's more like a little building block or something, where he stands on it and wobbles back and forth a bit. So nothing more. Not tragic at all. But your counterpart is in the process of letting go of the whole thing because he has made the decision, or she has made the decision, and he wants to have this complete, pure change with you. He no longer wants that. It was a burden for him that this realization, that your counterpart is also coming to this realization that what has always been, perhaps with you or in other relationships, is nothing half-hearted, nothing complete, that he or she no longer wants it because I have the complete change. This awakening, this waking up. And there, even if you have been in a relationship before, disappointed in yourself because now he is totally unhappy, he also knows that he has made you unhappy because you are the most wonderful thing for your counterpart. And you have always tried to give him so much warmth, love, and this lightness. You have always approached him and have always had solutions. Solutions for your love, as I said. if you have been in a relationship, since everything you have always given and your counterpart has been is that he has disappointed you because he has not returned it to you completely pure and freely, and that you really have been unhappy. You wanted to be happy with him. You have repeatedly said, hey, our love has a chance, and you firmly believed in it and held on to it. It was your counterpart who always swirled back and forth here, who did not really open up, who withdrew, and who always contributed to a certain degree of uncertainty. You wanted, you always gave everything, and always a slap, like a little smack in the face, but you kept fighting and didn't give up. And there is his theme, which his counterpart also sees, because I really feel the heaviness very strongly with him as he now realizes what has really been there, what a jewel he has actually lost by his side, or what he has not perceived, which is you, which is perhaps why he said relationship. No way, because I have seen complete changes in his behavior as well. So, I have this, that he goes more into trust and out of distrust. More into this trust with you, allowing it to emerge anew. And here I have a complete change between the two of you lies in a relationship. And I even have this stability here. This stability is clearly shown to me. Your partner wants to change everything. You will see, feel, and experience your partner differently, softer, more willing to compromise, and more attuned to you. And your counterpart definitely does not want anything that has happened in the past anymore, because this fear that he has felt, he wants to get out of it. He wants to break free from it all, because he knows that with you, he can have stability. And he feels that too. And the complete reflection that we saw at the beginning is also clearly visible here, because there is an absolute transformation. And this trust, it is built up, it develops slowly. The path will also be a little bumpy, but those are just small pebbles, I would say. So not like boulders or anything, oh my God, Mount Everest that I have to climb here. No. Those are just small stumbling blocks, but they are what is also needed. Through conversations, it is always clarified here, because here, change, clarity, and unity always come back. But it's a bit bumpy that there's a small, yes, that one talks about finding unity again until everything completely grooves together. Because then, in front of you, it might get a bit stuck at first, where he briefly swings back into his old patterns, but you also pull him out again. You pull him out here again. You don't say anything further. You just look at him. And then I see your warmth in the person opposite you. This, you pause, you say nothing, because I feel the calmness with you very strongly. And not that you have an angry look now, but just that look, you know what I mean? You know how you look then. That look, that understanding, and that just take a closer look. Because you give him love, and he feels it too. Because the heart is open to your counterpart, the area where they can truly see the love in your eyes. They will also pause and then adjust. Apologizing to you, and this doesn't have to be an apology, but no, listen, we will do it this way and that way. So as I said, it's a bit bumpy right now, but it will get better once everything has settled in and found its groove. But I have completely the new beginning, the change, the transformation, the movement into stability. And then I really have the fulfillment of wishes with both of you. For your counterpart is here in this area, in this activity of self-discovery, this fulfillment of desires, this acceptance, because he or she feels. Thus, their fulfillment of desire is a relationship with you. And I have, as I said, this relationship between you two very stable. I see it as long-term, so really what is being shown here? Also this moving in together, for example. So I have it lying here so consistently, and your counterpart will take this path because they are completely in the middle of it, and it is causing a tremendous upheaval for your counterpart. I sense a lot of unrest in your significant person's situation. A lot of this restlessness, this nervousness, this sense of relief. I want it. Then there's this moment of, yes, wow, now, and so on. And then there's also this restlessness, this, oh God, how do I manage all of this? Suddenly she's overwhelmed with so much. How am I supposed to handle all of this? But he will always find a solution here again. And this, all right, I start here and I will manage it. Because there is quite a lot that your counterpart has to work through within themselves. But as I said, this is a but, and compromises will definitely be made here. Your counterpart will make compromises, and I also have misunderstandings. Misunderstandings from various activities or anything else will also be completely resolved here. As mentioned, the vice or a vice perhaps of your counterpart, which may have somewhat held you back and disappointed you, will be shed. Your partner is definitely sure about you. They want to give you everything, to make you completely happy. They want to give you everything. They actually want to lay the world at your feet. To have the world at your feet. So, let's see what further explanations we can get. And what did I just tell you? To have the world at your feet. We have the world. It fits perfectly. So, as I said, here it's still a bit shaky. It's just a tiny bit because there's still this back and forth. But I have quick movements here, and we have the speed again. So, regarding the rods, it is also shown that your counterpart wants to talk to you. They want the change, they want a complete realignment, the change, the realignment, and they will really take action. Not that you now say, okay, you have to wait here for years. Because I have here, as I said, in this reading collectively, yes, it is about moving out of stagnation, and here I have quite a lot of speed involved. No. He might also be a bit surprised, partially. He wants to tell you a lot. And when he starts to talk, it's actually more like a confusing jumble where you then think, wait a moment. How do we suddenly go from the inside to car washing? And then to making the beds? Where you think, hey, I can't find any connection at all. So I have this speed. That he sometimes speaks a bit hastily, but with your calmness, you also slow him down. It may also be that you simply take him in your arms and laugh it off. But just the fact that he calms down a bit because he is totally, I see the person across from me is totally excited, totally nervous, excited, and he wants to have the conversation with you. He wants to completely realign. And he also wants you to believe him then. And you really want to prove that to him. You would also prove it. Because I can already see this distrust in you. The distrust is already quite significant. You then become you in the observer's perspective and look at the whole situation. Because you look at the person opposite you and think, okay, you can tell me a lot, but I'll just observe for now. Let's see. But definitely, as I said, the realignment, and there it is. You can really, really make an impact with good news. Because I have a new relationship with you, an absolutely delightful development. And just before reaching the goal, as I said, something will really happen. And he definitely wants the change. We have it here multiple times now. So what else do we have? We have the world. The relationship, when we address the question of the relationship, to create a second chance between you or to establish a relationship that is completely filled with lightness, which has never really existed between you, and a unity will form between you, so stable, so complete is this unity, that no one can shake it. So, you stand behind your counterpart, just as your counterpart stands behind you. So no one lets anything come between the other. You stand by each other, definitely. And as I said, lightness is also shown here, and it is about completion. You both live your love, your togetherness, and truly this sense of having arrived. You both have arrived and begin the journey together in your committed life partnership and in a stable life partnership. So really beautiful, better than before, or yes, this complete change in your counterpart because he knows what he truly has in you, or what he has now lost and is trying to seize every chance to make it happen again, and above all, to prove to you, to show that he means it sincerely and that you can trust him. My dears, feel very loved and embraced this evening. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for watching and wish you a wonderfully beautiful rest of the day. Bye.